And now, hopefully, for what will be the last kitchen table electronics repair, at least for a few days, but it gets the keykeeper's seal of approval, I'll promise you that. He'll drink to that. What we've got here, this is a laptop, a Dell Latitude D800, that I purchased brand new. I went all out on this thing. I wanted the laptop of my dreams, and this actually ended up replacing a Compaq LTE 5000. I still have the LTE. I use it as kind of a portable network monitoring tool since I have a complete set of assorted networking PC cards for it. Well, this is my main laptop. This has been a great laptop. If you could find one of these that was gently used that works, snap it up. The only real disappointment about this thing is that it doesn't support 48-bit LBA, and so the biggest hard drive that it can use is 137 gigabytes in size, which practically means you're constrained to 120 gigabyte and smaller drives. It's a curious omission by Dell when you consider that a lot of their previous machines, including much of their early Pentium 4 lineup, such as the Optiplex GX400, or even the Pentium 3, such as the Precision Workstation 220, which is a multi-processor Pentium 3 that's pretty darn sweet, they both support 48-bit LBA. But this machine, for some reason, never got that support. Mine's still running just fine on the stock 60 gigabyte Fujitsu hard drive, which works well for me. But the problem with this machine, if there was an Achilles heel, it would seem to be the keyboard. This is the second keyboard the machine has had in it. The first one Dell paid for under their warranty. Now this new keyboard is really starting to act up. Most of the letters take a couple of hits before they'll register. The right-hand shift key is really bad. It's keeping me from doing my emails, and I know there's at least one person who is really expecting to get an email back from me, and that person will, just as soon as I try to get this fixed. And of course, if I don't get it fixed, I'll just buy a new keyboard for the machine on eBay or something. Now the reason these plastic palm rests are still on here is because at some point the case for the machine developed a crack around the ports and Dell replaced it, and I decided, you know, why not keep it nice? Why not keep it from getting palm prints and palm marks and smudges all over it? I think I'll just tape these little plastic protectors into place. And they've done a good job. If I ever took these off, although their adhesive has picked up room dust and things like that around the corners and the holes, they've done a splendid job of protecting the plastic underneath. So in the unlikely event that I'd sell this machine, I would take them off and it would look basically brand new. Well, enough dancing around it. It's time to pop the keyboard out of this thing. Now this isn't too bad. Unlike a lot of laptops that make this a fair chore, this is really not too bad. In fact, you could almost get away without anything more sophisticated than a thin wedge-like device to lift this thing up and start taking it off. Now one of the first things that I'll have to do in the process of taking the keyboard out of this machine is to disconnect this ribbon cable. Unfortunately, Dell provides a little loop pull to allow me to do that with ease and without risking tearing the ribbon right in two and leaving the connector inside the machine, which would be oh so much fun. Now the only thing left holding the keyboard in is two screws. One right there above the F4 key and the other one up here above the pause key. So just undo those screws, disconnect one plug, and the keyboard comes completely free. And there's the keyboard. Now there's not much to a laptop keyboard if you've ever looked at one. They're very thin. You can take them apart. In fact, I have done so. But to do that is almost to risk an irrecoverable disaster. So I'm not going to take this keyboard apart. Instead, I'm going to use a very radical idea for a fix. You see, the one thing I do a lot of typing on this computer. I do a lot of writing, do a lot of typing, mostly stuff that I keep to myself, just fictional writings that the keykeeper and I have worked on. Bizarre Furhead has weighed in on a time or two. But mainly just things that we keep to ourselves, just ways to have fun and let off a little bit of steam at the end of a busy day. So this keyboard has seen a lot of typing, and I do things around my laptop that I really shouldn't do. I eat and I drink near it. Now, I've never had a disaster, although there was the one time that I spilled water in the carpet this thing was sitting on, and it wicked up, and it took it several days to regain its wits. But that was just water. If you pour a sticky drink or coffee or something vile into your laptop, man, you are on your own. You better get the battery out of it and don't even think about powering it up until you've removed everything that'll come out and tried flushing it with some clean, clear water to get all the pollutant out of there. That's what I'm going to do with this keyboard. I really don't want to take it apart. If I break it, I'm going to end up buying a new one on eBay anyhow. I'm going to put it in the dishwasher. Just like I did that whole computer, I'm going to put this keyboard in the dishwasher. Now the Dell Latitude machines, back in the day when this one was made, this was standard equipment. It's optional today. That's a little misplaced pencil eraser or ThinkPad style AcuPoint. So I'm going to pop the little head off of that thing because it seems to me that in the environment that is the dishwasher, it's just asking for trouble to leave that on there. Now, if you ever get a laptop that shuts down unexpectedly on you and you try to take it apart, being mindful of the right way to do it, of course, otherwise you'll cause a lot of expensive damage, or you could, you'll see that there are little fans inside. This machine has two, although Dell only officially acknowledges this large one over here. These fans blow through little car radiator-shaped structures. And the best way, after a while, those things suck up lint, especially since most of the intake vents are on the bottom. The best way to clean those out is to force air through them backwards. It's quick and it's easy, and you usually don't have to take anything apart because the lint balls will usually come out at the intake on the other side when you force air through there in reverse. But enough of that. The time has come to wash this keyboard. I'll catch you on the other side, keyboard. I think a light wash would do. Laptops are usually pretty light. We'll kill off the heated dry just because we don't want to find out how much temperature that keyboard can really stand. Here we go. And just in case you're wondering, the rest of the dishwasher is not empty. I've got a big pasta colander in there too, and a couple of serving spoons. Well, here I am about 24 hours later. Here's the keyboard, fresh from its trip out of the dishwasher. And that actually brought something to mind. I set this on the dashboard of my truck, and I just kind of let the gentle spring heat and a little help from my defroster and the air conditioner dry it out as I drove to work today. But it kind of reminds me of something. If you had, sometimes when these keyboards don't dry out completely, they act a little crazy. And they tend to type things all by themselves, which leads me to wonder, if you had 1,000 keyboards in a dishwasher, would they eventually type the complete works of Shakespeare? I believe we'd call that the infinite keyboards theorem, shamelessly stolen from the infinite monkeys theorem. Anyway, let me hook this thing back up and get it screwed back into place, and we'll see if it's made a difference. Hopefully then I can get to my emails. Well, it's worked well enough to request the one-time boot menu. We'll see if it makes it into diagnostics. Now, the last time I threw something in the dishwasher that was computer related, I had a couple commenters that came out of the woodwork and said, "Oh, that's fake." And I said, "No, it's not." Well, this ought to help dispel any doubt. Click OK. It's looking for stuck keys. It didn't find any. All right, now for the real test. Will it work? Well, in the end, it's mostly good news. There were keys that wouldn't even register when I hit them on this thing. And now, all the keys are registering, although it seems like there's maybe still a little tiny bit of water inside the keyboard matrix, because when I hit the F2 key, I'm seeing it show more than one key pressed at once. So I think the keyboard needs a little bit more drying out time, and then it'll be okay. It's certainly better than it was. In the meantime, because I simply have to get back to these emails, there's people I promised I'd write them back, and they're probably wondering where in the world I am, and I wouldn't blame them. I'm going to put this thing in its docking station and just use an external keyboard in the meantime, till I can get this one dried out.